Hi guys, welcome to ADA Master. This is Priya, SAS trainer and also working as a SAS programmer in one of the MNCs from past 5 years. Today we'll discuss about clinical SAS training. Like if you want to become a clinical SAS programmer in clinical sector, you must learn base and advanced SAS programming along with CDISC. ADA Master provides you complete clinical SAS training with real-time projects. Once you are done with the course, you can clear your SAS certification immediately. And finally, you can apply for the job. For this process, you must know three things. The first one is the training process in Edu Master. Like how we deal with the students from day one till they get placed successfully. And the next one is about SAS. Like what is SAS, about SAS software and its uses and functionality, or about SAS files, workflow, like that. Everything we are going to discuss. And the third one is about certification. In this video, we'll discuss about different types of SAS certifications and also advantages of getting SAS certified credentials and its procedure. Finally, job opportunities. People learn different courses, right? But why? Finally, to get a job. So, in this video, you will get all the information about job opportunities for SAS skills. Yes, all these things will be shared with you today in this video. Now, let's see actually what is the difference between SAS training and a clinical SAS training. Because many people used to say we'll provide SAS training and some people used to say about a clinical SAS training. Actually, what is the difference between these two? It's nothing but SAS training is nothing but you will get a training about base SAS, and along with the base SAS programming you will get a training in advanced SAS and also SQL. Some SQL queries we can do that using SAS. Everything we are going to discuss that in SAS training. And reports. As a SAS programmer, we have to generate different kinds of reports. All those reports, how to generate those reports and all will be covered in this training. And finally, you will get a project about all this SAS training. And then what is going to be there in clinical SAS training? The name itself is telling, right? Clinical and SAS training. So, along with the SAS training, you will get some additional information, additional knowledge about the CDISC, because these things are not enough to work in a real time. Along with this, we should require some other additional knowledge that is related to the clinical side. So, in the clinical SAS training, we'll give you base SAS training, about advanced SAS programming, SQL, reports, and also CDISC training. CDISC is nothing but when we are submitting data to FDA, we have to submit in these standards. So, we'll teach you clearly about SDTM mapping and how to create an analysis data sets, what are the ADaM requirements, what kind of domains or what are the variables present in SDTM, how to create SDTM data sets, everything clearly we are going to teach. And finally, we'll give you a project. If you are interested, you can attend a free demo. And now let's see the training process in Edu Master. Training will be there for 35 days, daily 1 hour class, and class timings depends on the student availability. Both weekdays and also weekend classes are available. And daily after class, I'll mail you notes along with the videos. During class, if you concentrate on writing notes, there is a chance to miss few points, right? That's why don't write running notes. We'll provide you with the notes and videos. And one more thing, after each class, there will be a small test. And also on every Friday, I'll give you one more test. On Monday to Friday, what are the topics we are covering? Those topics I'll give you as a weekend test. The reason behind this test is, so many people are learning SAS but they are not practicing. So, for the sake of answering these tests, at least you will practice SAS, right? That's why we are giving you this test. And also, remember one thing, we won't demand you to pay at the day one. You can listen first few classes for free. Because if you pay at day one and later if you are not feeling comfortable, your money will go waste, right? That's why you can listen first few classes for free. If you are comfortable, then you can go for the payment, and once you are done with the payment, we'll give you all the SAS materials, like all the 35 days notes, videos and all the tests. Along with that, we'll give you some study materials to refer SAS, and also we'll provide you sample CVs, frequently asked questions, everything we'll mail you at a time. Of course, daily I'll mail you the notes if you get confused to refer all those things. Okay, after training, what is the next step? Once we are done with the training, I'll give you a project. A real-time project will be given to you, which makes you easier when you go for job. Right? That time you won't feel difficulty because already you have done with one project. That's why we are giving you with one project. And finally, at the last day of the training, I'll give you a final test. In that test, if you score 25 out of 30, you will get your 50% money back. The concept behind this 50% money back is, as I told you already, many people are learning SAS, but they are not practicing. So, at least for the sake of money, you will practice SAS and you will try to attend this test, right? That's why, so finally, you will get your money along with the SAS knowledge. Okay. After training, what is the next step? So we have to apply for jobs, right? So to apply for a job, what is required? You need a CV, right? So we'll provide you sample CVs and also I'll help you in build your resume. Once you have your resume, what is the next step you are going to do? You'll apply for the jobs and then you have to attend interviews, right? So that's why before that, I'll take mock interviews. I'll give you tips and I'll guide you what kind of questions generally they'll ask in telephonic interviews and what kind of questions they'll ask in face-to-face interviews. Okay, once we are done with this mock interview, then we'll show you the placements. We'll forward your CV to consultancies and those people will contact you and they'll arrange interviews. So finally, at one point of time, you'll get job, right? So after job, if you need job support, then also we are available. So all the time, 24/7, we are there for you to give you a job support. And also if you have doubts, even after training, you can mail me at any time. It's not like only during training, only during those 35 days or 40 days we'll care about you. It's not like that. Okay, I hope you got an enough picture about the training process in ADaM. Right? Now, let's see about SAS. In this video, we are going to see about the overview of SAS and SAS Competitors and why it is so popular and also its uses or the key features and SAS role in various industries, particularly in the clinical industry. And I'll explain you how a programmer is related to the clinical trials and what happens in a clinical trials. Everything I'll explain you. And let's see the workflow of SAS also. And SAS User Interface and also its program structure, and we'll see some examples for that and what are the default nature of the SAS. And finally, I told you three things we should remember, right? One is training process. Already we have seen, and the second one is SAS, where we are going to see about all these things, and the third one is certification. So I'll tell you what are the different certifications we are having for SAS and what are the SAS certification benefits, and then job opportunities and who can learn SAS. So many people had doubt that to learn SAS they should have some programming language knowledge and all, right? But everything I'm going to tell you. Okay. What is the full form of SAS? That is Statistical Analysis System or Software. And it was developed at North Carolina State University and mainly for the agricultural purposes. During 1966 to 76, it was developed and mainly used for the advanced analytics and business intelligence, data management and predictive analytics. And later, during 1980s and 1990s, It was furtherly developed by adding new statistical procedures and also some additional components, along with the introduction of JMP. There are variety of software tools and packages available across the globe, right? Among these, SAS is classified as a data management tool and also a statistical tool. Now let's see what are the competitors we are having for SAS and why it is so popular. SAS is used for the data management and also for statistical analysis, right? So data management or data warehousing is nothing but it is used for reporting and ETL process, that is extract, transform and load. So now see about some competitors. If you take Cognos and Tableau, these are the reporting tools, but they cannot perform either ETL or statistical analysis. Similarly, Dataset and Informatica, they can majorly perform ETL process, but neither reporting nor statistical analysis. Similarly, there are many other statistical packages available like SPSS, Quantum, Statica or like this. So these can perform only statistical analysis, but they are not used for reporting or ETL task. But SAS is the one which can perform all these three tasks, that is nothing but reporting, ETL and statistical analysis. That's the reason why SAS became the outstanding analytical software across the globe. Now let's see the uses of SAS, how it is used. Okay, SAS is used for data warehousing. Just now we have seen that it can perform reporting and ETL process, right? And also it is used for data cleaning. Data cleaning is nothing but if any duplicate records are there, we can delete the duplicate records using SAS. And also used for data analysis. So we can calculate some descriptive statistics like mean, average, standard deviation, like that. And also using SAS, we can make better decisions. And it is used to generate different kinds of reports like tables, listings and figures or graphs. And it is used to generate output in various formats like CSV or Excel or PDF or RTF, any format we can generate the output using SAS. And also it can able to process unlimited rows and columns. It has many built-in statistical functions to perform analysis. It contains several numeric and character functions for data manipulations and also interacts with multiple database and operating system. Coming to the SAS role in various industries. It is used in various industries like healthcare and pharmacy, financial industries, and in retailing we can use SAS, and in the telecom sector also it is used. Now see how SAS is useful to each industry. If you take clinical sector, SAS is mainly used in clinical trials to perform statistical analysis like calculating descriptive statistics like mean, standard deviation, median values, like that. Let's take a small example here. In clinical trials, so many subjects are involved, right? So for each subject, several visits will be scheduled to take their values for BP or heart rate or sometimes to take a blood samples like this. So as there are many visits, finally they will take in one value, either that is an average or the minimum value or the maximum value depending on the requirement. As it is easy to deal with the larger data, SAS is being used. As this video is completely about clinical SAS online training, we'll discuss about the clinical trial process or what happens in a clinical study or how SAS Programmer is related to clinical trials, what kind of data he is going to deal with, everything we'll discuss. Clinical trials, why we are calling them as a clinical SAS programmer. What is meant by a clinical trial? A clinical trial or a clinical research is nothing but a study conducted on a new drug before releasing that into a market. Why these clinical trials are conducted? Have you heard about clinical trials?
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that.
Do you have an idea what is meant by clinical trial?
Testing of a drug,
Yes.
and it has four phases.
Yes.
Uh,
Okay, but in these clinical trials, where SAS
mhm.
programmer is related, let's see that.
For data, yeah, okay.
Yeah. To start a clinical trial, what are the required things initially? Initially, first,
Mhm.
there should be a sponsor, and with him, he should have some new drug,
Okay.
right? Or a new medicine,
Mhm.
anything.
Mhm.
So, if he wants to release that new drug into the market,
Mhm.
what he required? He has to go to the FDA and get approval from FDA, right? As he having a new drug, he cannot directly release that into the market, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So when he approaches FDA, FDA will question him, why should I
Mhm.
approve your drug?
Okay.
Okay, suppose think that his new drug is for headache. Okay, to cure
Mhm.
headache. Already in market
Mhm.
we are having so many drugs, right? Which cure headache.
Yeah.
So then
Mhm.
FDA will question him, already in market there are so many drugs. Why should I again approve your drug?
Mhm.
Then sponsor has to prove FDA that his drug is more efficient than the already existed drug. Right?
Okay.
Think suppose already existed one is curing headache in 5 hours.
Okay.
Old one. But
Mhm.
this new drug has to cure within 5 hours, right? Or it should take
Yeah.
5 hours. Then only
Okay.
FDA will approve.
Yes.
If it is taking more than 5 hours, then there is no use, right, to releasing it
Yeah.
in the market. So,
Mhm.
sponsor has to prove his drug's efficacy, that it is more
Mhm.
efficient than the already existing drug. And also, it
Mhm.
should not contain side effects, right?
Yeah.
Only acceptable side effects should be there.
Mhm.
So, for that he has to do some trial research process, he has to conduct some study. So for that what he required, actually he required some set of people, right? We'll call them as
Yeah.
subjects. For the subjects, who will give treatment, who will administer the drug? As it is a new drug, we don't know whether it will give side effects or not. If it is giving, again who will treat them?
Mhm.
In general, if we are getting any abnormality or disease, to whom we'll go? We'll go to the doctors.
Doctor.
Yes, so
Yeah.
he required some doctors also. We'll call them as investigators. Okay, like this, some set of people are required for the sponsor to conduct a clinical trial. Let's see step by step. Okay, the first one is approved protocol. What is meant by protocol? Protocol is nothing but an outline of a clinical trial, right? Or
Mhm.
a plan. In general, protocol means nothing but a plan, right?
Yeah.
So here also he should have one plan, that
Mhm.
in that protocol, in this document, sponsor have to mention each and every minute detail about the clinical trial, like how many days it is
Okay.
going to happen, where it is going to
Mhm.
happen, in which hospital, whether the hospital
Okay.
is having all the laboratory equipments or not, on what kind of drug he is
Okay.
going to do that research, what kind of
Okay.
subjects he is going to recruit, about investigators, about what kind of reports SAS programmers have to generate. Everything should be mentioned in this. Once he prepared his protocol, he have to send that to the FDA. FDA will check whether his
Yeah.
plan is everything correct or not, and then it will approve his protocol. Once he gets his approval from the FDA, then only he has to start clinical trial process. He should not start uh, as if he want, whenever he want. Okay. For to start a clinical trial also, he should require FDA approval. Okay. FDA approves his protocol. Then the next step is investigator selection. Okay. See, based
Okay.
on his drug also, it is mandatory, right? Based on that specialty. If the drug is about a gynec drug, then he'll recruit more of gynecologists, right? Than other specialists.
Yeah.
So like that also he has to do some investigator selections. And then the next step is patient recruitment. Not patients, actually subjects. They recruit healthy people and also non-healthy people also. Why? If the drug is about the cancer drug, then if they recruit only cancer patients, then it will be enough, right? Then why
Yeah.
again healthy people also?
To test about the side effects or how the drug is working, because cancer patient directly it may cure the disease, but we don't know like
Yeah,
other
somewhat
things, right?
true. Because yeah, and see, cancer patients, as they are diseased people, they are more susceptible to more side effects, right? Okay, some side effects may get because of that cancer also. But
Yeah.
if they recruit only cancer patients, then according to that study, for that drug there are more side effects, right? Which is not true. So to compare the results, they'll recruit healthy people also. Suppose if the cancer patient has died after taking the treatment, how
Yeah.
sponsor can prove whether he died because of the cancer or because of the drug? If the healthy patient is alive, then he can say, right, I've given drug to both
Yeah.
of them and he is alive. So for comparison studies, they'll take both healthy people and non-healthy people also. Okay, now this process will go on like that. Subjects will come to the investigators, they will give drugs, and again if they are having any side effects, then again they'll come back to the investigators. Okay, but all this data FDA should know, right?
Yeah.
So this data has to be captured. Who will capture all this data? There will be another team called Clinical Data Management Team. Okay, in this team, data entry persons and also data managers. Okay, what these data entry people will do? The name itself is telling, right, data entry. So they will
Yeah.
enter the data. Where they will enter?
Yeah.
Will they enter on paper?
No.
They'll enter
CRF
on, yes, CRF, case report form.
record form.
Again, these case report forms are of different types. One is paper CRFs, another one is
Electronic
CRF.
CRF,
Yes.
ECRF.
Nowadays, we are not using paper CRFs.
Yeah.
Okay, because as many people are involved, thousands of people, we may not say that each CRF will contain only one page or two pages, right? It depends on the study. So if it is containing 50 pages, then those many patients, how many pages it will take. And they should not miss each single page also, right? Without missing single page, they have to send it to FDA. Suppose trial is going on in India. Sponsor wants approval from FDA. FDA is US organization. So he has to send all these papers to US.
Yeah.
So which is difficult. So they are preferring electronic CRFs. This is also looks like a paper CRF. The format will be the same, but in our systems a software will be installed. So directly data entry persons will enter there and then they'll convert into database tables.
Okay.
Okay. Instead of entering in ECRF and converting into database tables, nowadays they are directly entering in database. That is called electronic data capture. What is this? What is the advantages of this EDC? Because it can take, as this is a database, it can take large number of data. If you enter more data in your Excel, what will happen? Will it open fastly? No, right? It will get hanged. It won't open soon. But if you are giving more data, but EDC, it can take, this database can take large number of data. And also we have to maintain this data confidentially, right? That security is very much important. So using this EDC, we can secure our data and it is very safe also. And the next advantage is it can be accessible anywhere in the world. If
Yeah.
they are having website, sponsor website details and internet connection, they can log in anywhere, right? Suppose if you entered in your ECRF and it will be stored in your system, right? If you are not available at that time, then how can other people can access that data? It is difficult, right? But EDC, as if they are having login details, they can log in and they can check. So, and also it is very easy to send data to FDA, right? The FDA people will also log in that site and they'll check. Okay. Somehow we are done with the data entry persons. They enter the data and they'll store in the database or in EDC they will enter. Okay. The next one is data managers. What these managers will do? These managers, they will validate our data. Whatever the data entered by data entry persons, they'll validate this data. Why this validation is required? Because we may not data entry persons may not enter the data correctly, right? They may or may not.
Okay.
Sometimes some typo error will be there, right? Invalid data they may enter. So these data managers, they will do validation. How they will do validation? They'll do by edit checks. What is meant by edit check? Edit check is nothing but when creating the database, codes are written at the back end. So if you enter any data wrongly, it won't take. It will pop up some error messages. If you enter your Gmail ID wrongly, what will happen? It will give us some error, right? Username and password
Yeah.
doesn't match. So how your system is knowing that Gmail ID is wrong? Because when you creating your ID, it is stored in the database, right? So whenever you are entering, it will double check, cross check whether
Yeah.
that matches with your new one, whatever you entered. So the same way, here also codes will be written at the backend. I'll just give you an example. Suppose there is a gender column called gender. Okay. In that column,
Yeah.
they have to enter either female or male. Only these two values. By mistakenly, if they enter some other extra characters other than these two values, okay, because of some typing errors, what will happen? It won't end. It won't take. It will pop up some message. It will show some
Yeah.
error or warning messages so that they can identify and they can rectify it, right? So using these edit checks, they can minimize their errors. So like this, data managers will do validation. All this is the work of the clinical data management team.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the next one is when these people, data manager validates the data, he'll log the database. Okay. And from there, what is the next step? Data analysis, right? In this step,
Okay.
biostatisticians and SAS programmers are involved.
Okay.
Okay. What SAS programmers will do? What biostatistician will do? Let's see. Statisticians will have their own document called SAP, means Statistical Analysis Plan.
Okay.
Okay. So according to in his plan, based on the protocol, he writes his plan. Okay. In this plan, everything will be mentioned. What kind of report SAS programmer has to develop.
Okay.
So he will say SAS programmers to generate different kinds of reports. As a SAS programmer, we have to generate reports. What kind of reports we'll generate? We'll call them as tables. Different kinds of reports are there. Listings
Okay.
and then graphs. Graphs
Okay.
or figures. Either way we can call them. Simply, we'll call it as TLFs or TLGs.
Okay.
Okay, even if you check for any SAS programmer role, they'll say they should be efficient in doing TLFs or TLGs, or they'll say in tables, something like that. Okay, because this is the work of the SAS programmer. Okay, whatever the data given by the validated by the data manager, that data will process, will analyze the data and then will create some reports like this. Okay, now our part is done. After generating after we generated the reports, what will happen to those reports? See, again we'll submit to statistician. He'll check if there are any changes to be made. He'll tell to us. After that,
Okay.
if we made changes, then he will finally approve our reports. That is fine.
Mm-hmm.
After that, what is going to happen? It is a basic thing to know that, right?
Yeah.
So after that, there is a medical writing team. Okay. These medical writing people, they'll write synopsis for the reports. What kind of
Okay.
synopsis? Means like what happened in the trial or what of the side effects or how drug is working,
Mm-hmm.
something like this. Some synopsis they'll write. And again they'll
Mm-hmm.
submit this to statistician.
Okay.
Finally, this statistician he'll create CSR, clinical study report. This is the
Okay.
final report of the trial.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this CSR and the data entered by the data, validated by the data manager, this data and the reports generated by SAS programmers, these three will be submitted to the FDA.
Okay.
Okay, either if it depends on the sponsor requirement. If he wants to get approval from US, eh, he'll submit
Mm-hmm.
to FDA. From the European countries, EMA, European Medical Agency.
Mm-hmm.
If he wants approval from India, Drug Control General of India. Like this, each and every country will have their own organization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, depending on that, sponsor will submit.
Okay.
Is this clear?
Yes, yes, it's clear.
Okay. Now coming to the financial services like banks. In banks, SAS is used to generate reports for customer loans or per each customer how many loans sanctioned and about to deal with their amounts, something like this. So it is used to generate reports or for doing productive modeling or for data mining. Like this many uses are there for SAS. Whereas in retail, SAS is used for marketing analysis or to generate a reports like for which product the sales are more or to generate a graphs for the products based on the product sales based on the year, something like this. So here also in retail sector also there are many uses like forecasting, product management, data mining like this. And coming to the telecom sector, it is used for customer management, like what services are mostly used by the customers or for different networks, something like this. And also it is used for, to generate statistical analysis, to generate different kinds of report for forecasting and data mining. Now we'll see how SAS software will look like. Okay. So if you open SAS, it will look like this. It contains 5 windows called editor window, log window, output window, explorer window and then the results window. These are the 5 windows that SAS contains. So whatever the work we want to do, we can do using these 5 windows. Let's discuss about each window separately. First, coming to the editor window. Editor window is used to write the programs. See, if you want to write or if you want to execute any program, we have to type that in the editor window. See here some small program is written. And also if you want to do some changes in the already existed program, we can edit that program using editor window. This is the only window where we can type and we can submit our program using an editor window. And it is used to customize keyboard shortcuts for most enhanced editor commands and also creates shortcuts for typing in text using abbreviations. So this is the editor window and a small program is written here. Finally, remember editor window is used to write a program and we can edit some already existed programs and we can submit the program in editor window. Next, coming to the log window. What is the use of log window? Suppose if your program is having some errors, how you will understand? It has to display somewhere, right? So whatever the information is there regarding to your program, all the information will be shown in a log window. So it will show whatever the syntaxes you have written. Previously in any editor window we have written this code, right? There is a small code. that is data sample A equals to 10, B equals to 20, like this. A small code is there, and the same code, if you execute that code, it will show here like this in a log window. And also it will show you some execution details, like what is the total time it took to process that. See here some total process time and all. And along with this, it also display you the errors. Basically, log window will display you 4 colors. See here blue. In blue, we can see the note, means how much data it contains and how much time it took to process the code. And it also displays black color. In black color, we can see the codes. What we have written in an editor window, all the codes will be shown in a black color, and in blue execution details. Along with this too, it will also display you green color. In green color, it shows you some warnings. If there are any warnings, all those warnings will be displayed in green color. Here is an example for that. See, warning. Here it is saying the data set work.sample may be incomplete. Because of some mistake, it couldn't able to run the program, so it is giving us the warning. And the final one is red color. In red color, it will show you the errors. Suppose if your program is having any syntax error, that will be displayed in a red color. We can understand by reading this thing, where we have done mistake or what kind of mistake we have done. These are the 4 colors that log window displays, show you. Next one is the output window. Output window is used to print your results. Whatever the report you are generating, that will displayed in an output window. This is the only window that opens by default. Like if you want to generate any report, when you executed that report in an editor window, if it is not having any errors, by defaultly the output will appear in an output window. Next one is the Explorer window. Explorer window contains 4 folders. They are libraries, file shortcuts, favorite folders, and computers, like how generally our PCs contains all these 4. Okay, it is used to browse the data. So whatever the data you are saving in SAS, they will save only in these libraries. So it is used to browse the data, or we can store the data in this. And the next one is the results window. See, this is the 5th window that SAS contains. So what is the use of this result window? So in this result window, all the programs what you have executed will be shown in a tree-like manner like this. See here they are printed 2 times. That's why it is showing you print 2 times. Suppose if you execute some 20 programs, and after executing 20th program, if you want to go back to the second one, then how to check that second one? Definitely it will be difficult to scroll in an output window, right? Suppose if a program is having or a 2 to 3 pages report, then definitely will feel difficulty to run here, right? To scroll. That's why results window is used to navigate your output window. Here 2 are there. If you want to open the first one, you can double click on this. If you want to open the second one, you can double click on this. The reports will be shown like this here. This is about the windows. So remember, whatever the work we are going to do, we can do that only in these 5 windows. Next, let's see the SAS program structure. Means whatever the programs we are going to write in SAS, we'll write only in 2 steps. One is called data step, another one is called proc step. What is meant by data step? Data step is nothing but it starts with the keyword data and ends with run. So this is one example for the data step. Here also it is starting with data and ending with run. So this is also an example for the data step. Coming to the proc step. Proc step is nothing but a procedure step. In shortcut we'll say it as proc. It starts with the keyword proc and ends with run. This proc step will contain many procedures like print, contents, frequency, like that. So many procedures are there. Here totally 3 programs are there. In those 3, 2 are examples for the data step. See, these are starting with data and ending with run. So these 2 are an example for the data step, and this is an example for the proc step. Now let's see in detail. Suppose see here, this is a data step. Here what you are having, this data step contains some values like A equals to 10, B equals to 20 and C equals to 15. This is another example for data step. Here we are doing addition of all these 3, right? 10 plus 20 plus 15, and we are creating one more column called X. So these 2 are examples for a data step. Okay, next one is the proc step. Proc step is nothing but, I told you, it starts with keyword proc and ends with run. Right? It is used to process a data set. I'll tell you what is data set. Don't worry. If you submit this program in editor window, so what will happen? In the log window, it will display you like this. These are the codes that will display in black color, and these are the execution details which shows you in blue color. Okay, and once you execute this proc step, the report will appear in an output window like this. So what are the values for A, B and C, and also for X? This is the total value. The same thing, everything will be displayed in an output window. Now let's see about the SAS files. So SAS stores the data in the form of data sets. Okay, they look like a table like this. This is called a data set. So when you run any program, SAS stores the data like this in the form of a data set. If you open this one, if you double click, it will show you like this. Whatever the data we are having here, the complete data it will show you. Here A is having a value of 10, B 20 and C 15, right? So in table what we'll have? We'll have tables and columns and rows, right? Remember, in SAS we should not call it as a table, we have to call it as a data set. So here 3 columns are there, right? A, B and C. So we should not call them as a columns, we have to call them as variables. So here 3 variables are there, they are A, B and C, and 1 row is there, right? We should not call them as a row, we have to call it as an observation. So now in this data set we are having 3 variables and 1 observation, right? That's the difference. Instead of calling it as a table, call it as a data set, and rows are called as observations and columns are called as variables. Next, let's see the workflow of the SAS. As a SAS programmer, what is the work for us? We have to generate reports, right? From where we'll generate reports? We'll have some data that is called raw data, and that data will get maybe from in the form of Excel sheet or in the form of notepads or in the form of data sets or directly from the database we may take. So we can have the raw data in any of these forms. That raw data will process that using a data step. So using data step, we'll process that raw data and we'll create some data sets using a data access or by data management. Once we create these data sets, we'll process these data sets using proc step. And after processing these data sets, we can generate some analysis data sets by doing data analysis. From that analysis data sets, we can generate the reports. As I told you, reports are of 3 types, like tables, listings and figures or graphs. Is it clear? In a simple word, from a raw data, we'll generate a data sets using a data step, and we'll process these data sets using a proc step, and we'll do some data analysis and we'll create some analysis data sets, and then finally we'll generate a reports. This is the workflow of the SAS. Now let's see some naming convention rules or for a variable name or a dataset name. Whenever we are creating variable names or a dataset name, we should keep in mind a few points. Okay, they are, see, that should be only up to 32 characters. It should not exceed 32 characters long. And it is not a case sensitive. We can give those names either in uppercase or in lowercase or in mixed case. And also they should start with either letter or underscore. The first position should be either an alphabet or an underscore. And numbers we should not give it a first position. Subsequent characters can be either letters or underscore or numbers. It doesn't matter. But the first position should be either an underscore or it should be a letter like this. And no special characters are used except underscore. Special characters are nothing but all these symbols, signs. Even a blank space is also a special character. Remember, except underscore, we should not use any other special characters. If you take an example, see here, all these are the valid SAS names, right? Here it is starting with underscore. So if the particular name is satisfying all these 4 points, then that is valid. Here also, only underscore is there and starting with a letter and no other special characters, right? So, and also it falls below 32 characters. This is also a valid one. All these are an examples for a valid SAS names. But if you take this, these are not valid, right? Because here hyphen is used. If you take here also, and here it is starting with number, but number should not be at first position, right? And also blank space is there. Some special characters are used. So we should not use any other special characters except underscore. That's why all these are invalid SAS names. Now let's see about libraries. Where we have seen these libraries before? We have seen in an Explorer window, right? See, these libraries are the storage place for the SAS files. Whatever the data you are saving, they'll save in the form of datasets in these libraries. There are different types of libraries like permanent and temporary. SAS User and SAS Help comes under permanent libraries. These are the examples for permanent libraries. And an example for the temporary library is Work. So when you install SAS, you will get these 3 libraries by default: SAS Help, SAS User and Work. Why I am calling these as permanent and this as temporary? What is the difference between them? It's nothing but, so whatever the data you are saving in the permanent libraries, they'll store forever. Unless you delete by yourself, the data won't get deleted. But the data is saved in the temporary library like Work. It will get deleted once you close the SAS. That's why we are calling this as a permanent and this as a temporary, and these are a permanent libraries. So if you want to work with the same data in future also, you can save in permanent libraries like SAS User and SAS Help. And also, is it necessary, always is it mandatory to save data only in these 3 libraries? No. If we want, we can create our own libraries also. Let's see how to create. We can create libraries using a libname statement. This is an open statement. So the syntax for the libname statement is write libname and just give one library name. If you have many folders, so you cannot identify what is that library and what data is present in that, right? So for every library name, for every library, we should give some name like SAS User, SAS Help and Work. The same way you can give your own name and link that library to somewhere to your system. So just give one file location where you want to link. So what is the use of this? Because whatever the data you are saving in that particular library will also get saved in this path. Suppose if you create a temporary library and if you save some data, that data will be saved in that temporary library along with the file location what you have given. But once you close the SAS, what will happen? All the data will get erased, right? But the data will be saved in this file. So whenever you want, you can use that data. And also we can use create a new library by clicking a new library button. Okay, this button will be present on the SAS at the top. So once if we click that one, we can create a new library also. And to write a library name, we are having some rules. The rules are nothing but all the rules are same as a dataset name or for a variable name, what we have seen before, except this 8 characters. Library name should be 8 or less than 8 characters. It should not exceed 8. But previously when we have seen for dataset name or a variable name, see here, there we have seen 32 characters, right? But coming to the library names, it should be only 8 characters. And it must begin with either letter or underscore, and it may contain numbers at any other positions except at the first position. Subsequent characters may be letters or numbers or underscore, but the first position should be only letter or underscore. And also we should not use any other special characters except underscore. Is it clear? Next, see about variable types. When you take SAS values, data values, there are of two types. One is a character variable and another one is a numeric variable. What is the character variable? Character variable is nothing but it can take either letters, numbers or mixed. But the numeric variable can take only numbers. How to differentiate character and a numeric variable? So next to the variable name, if we are giving a $sign, SAS will consider that as a character variable. If you are not giving $sign, it will think it as a numeric variable. And by default, it can take only 8 characters length. So if your if your value is more than 8 characters, then it cannot read that value. It will truncate the data. If we want, we can increase the length up to 32767 bytes using a length statement. And 1 byte equals to 1 character. Same way for the numbers. For the numeric variable also, the default storage is 8 bytes, but it can take up to 12 characters, 12 digits normally. If again your number is having more than 12, it will read in an electronic format. Character values are represented by using a blank space. And if you have any missing values for the numeric variable, it will be represented by a period. Now let's see the various components in SAS. A SAS may contain more than 200 components, right? So let's see some of them. They are SAS base, SAS SQL, SAS macros, SAS ODS, graph, stat, axis. Like this, so many components are there. Okay, don't worry, we are going to learn about all these components. And now let's see about SAS software and how it runs on different operating systems. We know that SAS runs on an operating system, right? So today there are many operating systems like Windows, Mac, Unix, right? Like this, so many operating systems are there, different platforms, and also there are many versions. If you take all these, the current version is 9.4 and these are all the recent versions. If you take 8.2 and all, these are the old versions. So we can install SAS in any operating system, and also you can install whatever the version you want. The next one, let's see about the certification. There are many certifications for SAS. Actually, it is a globally recognized certification and it currently offers 11 certifications across 5 different categories. The categories are nothing but foundation tools, advanced analytics, BI and analytics, data management and administration. These are the 5 different categories. Under these categories, we are having a few, 2 or 3 certifications for each category. So totally actually 11 certifications are. So under foundation, base SAS certification, advanced SAS certification and clinical SAS certification are included. All these three certifications comes under foundation. If you take advanced analytics, it includes predictive modeler certification and also a statistical business analyst certification. These are the two different certifications that comes under advanced analytics. Like the same way, BI is also having two different certifications like BI content developer and also a visual business analyst certification. Data management also contains three different certifications like big data professional and data integration developer, data quality steward for SAS 9. These are the three different certifications that contains in data management. And also in administration we had SAS Certified Platform Administrator. So like this, these are the 11 different certifications. Now let's see about the certification uses. Actually now we have seen what are the different certifications and what is the use of doing a certification. If anyone gets certified, their details are listed in the directory of SAS certified professionals. Because if any employer wants to check or validate the credentials, they can access that directory. And also, if you earn SAS certification, it quickly leads to the compensation, increase of 20% and more. The most important one is confidence. Yes, or when you set your goals and work hard, definitely you can reach them, right? Which gives you a confidence. Next one is the competition. When employer are interviewing two different candidates, definitely the competition is tough, right? And if the person is having a certification and the other one doesn't have, definitely the person having a certification, definitely they'll have an advantage, right? And if you have certification, it increases the marketability if you are looking for jobs. And also it establishes you as a continuous learner. And employers always look for people who never stops learning, right? And the most important one is the talent and skills. If you have certification, you are in a better position to evaluate talent and skills of others, right? It also gives you tools to draw upon when needed. Having gone through all of the hard work and study, you have mastered a new body knowledge. Like there are many uses if one gets SAS certified credentials. And now see who can learn SAS, right? So to learn SAS, there is no need of any programming language or a programming experience. Even a layman can also understand SAS easily. And it is very simple and user friendly. Any graduate or postgraduate, like who have completed their BTech or B Pharmacy or any graduation, like nursing, MBA, MS, anyone can learn SAS. Okay, an academic background is needed. And now see what are the job opportunities we are having for SAS. In the analytical world, SAS analytic skills are the most valuable skills in the today's job market. Actually, analytical technology plays a key role in solving today's business problems. Evidence of this is how SAS has grown to have a strong and stable global presence. Check out a wide variety of job possibilities in many areas like sales and consulting, research and development, marketing, tech support, finance, and human resources. In all these sectors, we are having many job opportunities, right? And SAS was developed in early 1970s, but till date we are using, means from past 50-60 years we are using SAS, and day by day the scope is also increasing, right? Because many companies are using SAS. As many companies are using, we'll have more job opportunities, right? So it is playing a major role in industries. SAS has offices in more than 135 countries across America, Asia, Europe and Africa, etc. And SAS software is used by over 90% of the Fortune Global 500 companies to make important decisions every day. Year after year, SAS ranks high and variety of lists for best places to work, not only in the US but around the world. Topmost 100 global banks are using SAS because they help in marketing, and many insurance companies and banks like Citibank, RBC, HSBC, like this. Many companies or many banks are using SAS. It is best place to work. And if you are looking for a higher pay and better opportunities, what are the career skills you should seek to acquire? You might think only leadership or the communication skills would top the list, right? But as per the recent study, one should need even strong analytical skills also. Around 2,300 skills are correlated with higher pay, advancement and career opportunity. With an average pay boost of 6.1%, SAS was the most valuable one. According to the massive study done by moneyandpayscale.com, these SAS skills are the most valuable skills to have in today's job market. Do you know SAS is the largest market shareholder in data analytical sector with a share of 36.2% and fifth largest for business intelligence software. The study analyzed that 54 million employee profiles across 350 industries with 15,000 job titles from entry level to top level. So SAS skills are equals to the higher pay. If you have more skills, you'll get high pay. Okay. I hope you get enough knowledge about SAS and its job opportunities, and if you go for a certification, what are the uses we are having and what are the different certifications we are having, right? And how a SAS programmer is related to the clinical trials and what kind of data we are going to work and how the SAS software will be. I guess everything we have covered in this video. If you have any doubts, please comment. Thank you. Please subscribe for more videos.
Yeah.